We begin with a blueprint for a meaningful life. But this design is rarely our own. It's a cultural inheritance handed to us by family, by society, by the world we're born into. We're taught to value the scaffolding of success, the visible markers of achievement. But what happens when this foundation is built on borrowed ground? Today, that pressure is amplified 1,000 times over. Social media becomes an endless gallery of finished monuments, making our own humble construction sites feel hopelessly behind. This culture of comparison breeds a quiet anxiety, a fear that our own architecture of ambition will never measure up. And so the quest for external approval becomes the very mortar holding our early sense of self together. And so we build. We climb the prescribed ladder. We gather the assets, the relationships, the awards our blueprint demands. For a time, the momentum is its own reward. The act of achieving feels like meaning itself. A young woman, Anna, stands in her first apartment after 10 years of focused work. The keys in her hand feel solid, earned. The structure is sound. The walls are up. But then the noise of construction fades, and in the sudden quiet, she must finally live inside the house she has built. And it is in that quiet that a new question arises. What if the blueprint no longer fits the life you're living? The grand architecture of ambition, so carefully built in our youth, can begin to feel like an empty cathedral. The view from the top is not what we were promised. The frantic energy to accumulate gives way to a single, persistent whisper. What now? For many, this is a turning point, a pivot away from the roar of external approval and toward the quiet hum of internal significance. It is the search for a different kind of map. Consider an older woman, Alina, on a park bench. Her phone is forgotten. She is showing her grandson how to skip a stone across the water, guiding his small hand.
This is a turn toward what the psychologist Erik Erikson called generativity, the drive to nurture things that will outlast us. The focus shifts from acquiring personal trophies to tending a garden for others. It's a profound move from the self to the collective, from what we can get to what we can give. This isn't about heroic gestures. It is the small, steady, deeply human work of connection. This new purpose is found not in collecting more, but in cultivating wisdom. And wisdom isn't about knowing all the answers. It's about becoming comfortable with the questions. It's the grace to navigate life's complexities, to hold both joy and sorrow without being crushed by either. After a lifetime of doing, we learn the art of simply being. This requires letting go of the identities that once defined us, the job title, the awards, the relentless pursuit of more. It is a courageous act of subtraction, of clearing space for what truly matters. Ultimately, our focus shifts to legacy, not a name carved in cold stone, but the warm echo of our presence in the lives we've touched. In a culture that glorifies endless striving, this ancient wisdom is more vital than ever. It reminds us that a full life has seasons, each with its own beauty, its own purpose. But this transition isn't always a gentle fade into twilight. It can be a disorienting dusk, a confrontation with the ghosts of who we thought we were supposed to be. And it is in that dusk that we finally find a light of our own making.